Okay, welcome to Fumble Fever. We're continuing this series on the Big Ten's way too early prediction. Our last video was the Big Ten East. Right now we're going to the Big Ten West, and we're going to start jumping right into it with Illinois, Dylan.
I'm going to let you look at my notes.
Okay.
See how at first I had 5 and 7? I crossed that out, right?
Yeah.
I have them at 6 and 6 now.
Yeah.
They picked up a win against Wisconsin like they did last year. That may surprise a lot of people.
But they can't just keep on beating Wisconsin.
I think they can.
Okay.
But 6 and 6, that's what I got them at. Pretty much, there's a bunch of games on here where they could beat as a coin flip. So they could be. I don't see them winning more than 6 games. So
no.
Probably there's a potential where they could lose like 9 games. Honestly, I think.
That's a very big difference. It's
a real big difference.
You're basically telling me anything can happen.
Pretty much. They're not getting more than 6.
Don't guarantee anything on Illinois. No, I feel you. 6 and 6 sounds good. But before I get to my interpretation of how Illinois is going to do, I have an interesting fact for you this time.
Mm-hmm.
So Brandon Peters, he's the senior quarterback, and they're really excited for him. He's got some stability finally going for him. Last year, he threw 19 touchdown passes. In history, when Illinois throws 13 or fewer touchdown passes, they only average 2.57 wins a year. When they throw 14 or more touchdown passes, they average 5.8 touchdowns a year. So you have a guy that's throwing 19, then if he can do that consistently again this year, then math, history, all that would say that he would do like you said and perhaps go 6 and 6 because they average about 5.8.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to happen. I have them like you said originally that they could possibly go 3 and 9, and I have them at 0 and 9 in the conference.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually have them starting off 3 and 0. So feeling really good about themselves and then losing every single game after that.
Huh.
The reason I have that is because their recruiting mostly it was absolutely terrible. 87th in the nation. That's dead last in the Power 5.
Mm-hmm. And dead last in the Big Ten, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
dead last in the Big Ten, but
Number
dead
14.
last in the Power 5.
Dead last in the Power 5.
Illinois, you got to get it together, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get something together. I can't expect good things when that's what I see from the Fighting Illini. So,
and moving on to Iowa in their moving on to Iowa. Who you got?
Yeah, I can move on to Iowa. I have a typical Iowa year, pretty much, kind of middle of the pack, just maybe a little bit above that. I see them faring fairly well. I actually expect Iowa to be okay. They're number 35 in the nation, and they've got some nice recruits, including a pro-style quarterback, Deuce Hogan from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming out expected to compete right away there in Iowa. And I've noticed that overall recruiting, they have great people on the line, both the O-line and the D-line, which we always have good offensive linemen in Iowa.
And defensive linemen normally too.
Yeah, true that. So the front lines are going to be stacked. The right behind them, the linebackers are going to be pretty good. And of course, as usual in the Big Ten, they got some tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of decent recruiting-wise figures for the Hawkeyes. And overall, that leads me to believe that they'll go 8-4, 5-4 though in the conference.
That's what I originally thought, and then I started thinking more, which is kind of dangerous.
Yeah,
I
couldn't agree more.
I have them going 9-3.
Okay.
And 6-3 in the conference. Recruiting, they did pretty good, as you said. I think.
No, they did.
They were number 35 nationally and number 8 in the Big Ten. I love the defense, and you know me, I love defense.
The defense is always good for
even though they are losing one of their corners, I think.
Yeah. It's not huge.
Yeah, it's not huge. But other than that, I think they're going to have a pretty good year.
Okay. I could see that. So if we move on down the list to Minnesota, I'll throw that back at you. How do you have Minnesota faring after their very nice year last year?
7-5.
Oh, that's awful. That's not awful. It's good for Minnesota.
Yeah, it's good for Minnesota. But they have 5 wins in the first 5 games.
Oh,
So they
man.
start off really good.
Yeah, they do.
And I mean, then they have to start playing some real teams though. I mean, even though Iowa and Maryland are really good teams,
yeah.
but they play Wisconsin and Michigan, two really tough teams to play.
Yeah.
And then it's pretty much snowballs from there. I have them losing to Nebraska at the very end of the game, or at the very end of the season too.
Okay. Will it also be at the very end of the game?
Yeah, it would be
Sure.
at the very
Why
end of
not?
the game. I mean, they did pretty good in recruiting too. Number 38 overall and number 9 in the Big Ten.
Yeah. I think that I like Minnesota still.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on from last year, it's going to be a big difference between you and I.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, recruiting wise, I don't actually think it was that great. It was 9 out of 14 in the Big 12, but 38 in the nation, basically because of the Big 10 doing so well recruiting as a whole. They have a 4-star wide receiver and a 4-star outside linebacker coming in. But the real thing that really excites me about the Gophers moving forward is the fact that that nice team that they had last year, they have 9 starters returning on offense out of 11 guys.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 guys that they're going to be missing just happen to be, though, a very key wide receiver and running back. So that's going to hurt a lot. But, I mean, they replaced the running back already, and the wide receiver already in recruiting. We'll see how they fare running the ball, because you're going to have to run the ball well in the Big Ten. But only returning 4 starters on defense, but that's also not, I guess, stumbling me enough to just throw them completely out of the picture. I still think they're going to have a very, very good season. Probably still, despite this season they had last year, they're going to surprise a lot of people.
Oh, you think
I have them pretty much a repeat. I have them going 10-2 overall, 7-2 in the conference.
Pretty good.
And very good, I believe, especially for Minnesota standards.
Yeah, definitely. Especially 2 years in a row doing that.
Yeah, well, I really trust PJ Fleck.
I mean, I like him as a coach, but
Yeah, it's just their talent-wise, you just don't see them faring as well as you probably think they should. Yeah.
Moving on to Northwestern, what you got? Probably not much.
Okay, what's Nebraska?
Moving on to Nebraska. Who you got?
Okay, so not to toot my own horn, but the past 2 years I've been very, very right with my preseason analysis of where I thought Nebraska was gonna go. Okay, and this year I hope that it's the same. And if you're Nebraska fans, you might hope it's the same too, because it's a little bit better than what you have. Because for the first time in the past 3 years, so the first time in their 4th year now, I think Nebraska goes to a bowl game. Now, I think they actually do even better than go to a bowl game, because I think they win a couple more games than that. Yeah, 2 bowl games for the Cornhuskers. No, but overall they did pretty well recruiting. They were 20th in the nation, which really surprised me. Scott Frost has to break through sometime. I mean, he's a phenomenal coach. Don't get me wrong, but I think he's had more than enough time now to where we should see some serious improvement. So this should be the time.
The guys that he's recruiting should be showing what they have now.
Yeah, they should. They're juniors, they're seniors, sophomores. Some of them. I mean, they're moving up in classes. So he should have his guys. It should be a full season for Nebraska to prove to everyone that they have what it takes. I have 3 4-star receivers coming in for the Cornhuskers, and a 4-star running back, and a 4-star dual threat quarterback as well. I also have 2 4-star linebackers and 2 4-star safeties. So they've really got 4 stars. It's starting to sound stacked when I say it out loud like that. So with all that wonderful recruiting that they've had, and just the fact that, like I said, Scott Frost is due, I'm going to put them at 8-4, 5-4 in the conference. One of those wins, though, is one of Minnesota's few losses at the very end of the season, big time rivalry game.
Okay, I can see that too. But I can see that too, and I actually agree with you on that one.
Yeah, Minnesota losing
Yep.
Nebraska. Yeah.
I got them exact same record as you, 8-4 on paper, as you can see.
I see. I believe you.
I pretty much agree with everything you say.
Well, now you're finally getting smart. That's what I like to hear. Let's see if you agree with everything I say on Northwestern.
I'm pretty sure we do. I'm pretty sure we see eye to eye on this one too. 4-8.
We're very close.
Okay, I counted as the same.
Okay.
Nationally, number 47 overall in recruiting.
Mm.
Not too well,
Oh.
or not too good.
Oh.
In the Big Ten, number 11. Not too well in in the Big Ten.
No.
Even though the dude got Peter Skronsky coming in, he's the number 112 offensive. He's the number 112 overall
In the nation.
Yeah, in the
and
nation. Number
offensive
3,
tackle.
yeah, offensive center. So he should come in and help Hunter Johnson, which I think he's gonna win the
Quarterback battle.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Even though he didn't do too well last year, I still think he wins the quarterback battle.
Yeah, like you said, there is a quarterback battle, of course, for Northwestern. It's between Clemson transfer Hunter Johnson, who's had his year, a full year, last year, where it was a lot of struggle, a whole lot of struggle. But they also have a sixth-year guy. He has 6 years in T.J. Green, and he'll be fighting for that quarterback starting position as well. Both guys have a lot to improve on. Both guys need what Northwestern is planning to do this year. This should be a brand new looking Northwestern team. They are getting ready to move closer to a up-tempo style of offense and run a lot more plays. They're wanting to, of course, improve the sluggish, just absolutely lacklusterly terrible at times offense that we saw last year, and I really hope that they are able to pull something out of the hat here and show a little flash, because they sure need it. And when you got two guys that's been playing as long as they have, you got a 6-year guy in T.J. Green and Hunter Johnson, who is also a senior, then you should have guys that are more than capable enough mentally, and I mean they go to Northwestern, so that we know they're smart anyways, to be able to handle all this change and everything that's being thrown at them as they switch up their offense a little bit. They say they're going to keep some of the plays, but they're going to pretty much revamp this whole thing. So I'm really interested to see Northwestern and what happens. And I would love to see a really good year for Northwestern, and 15 years into Pat Fitzgerald, a heck of a coach that could probably have a very nice job somewhere else, but he continues to stay with the Wildcats for whatever reason. He likes the culture, he likes his family there, so great for him. Overall, I just don't see them having a great year. Like I said, we're close. I have them at 5-7, and I have them at actually 2-7 in the conference. I think it's going to be a little bit too tough for them to handle.
Moving on to Purdue, who you got?
Purdue is a team that I am iffy about every year. I always kind of like them overall. I think they have talent, but they just can't seem to get some of the bigger wins that could really help build their program. I think it's pretty much the same this year. They're 33rd in the nation, which is great recruiting-wise for Purdue. 7 out of 14, so right in the middle of the pack there. They have a wide receiver, Malik Carr. He's going to come in. He's
tight end.
Wide receiver Malik Carr. He's going to come in and he's going to be pushed to start right away for the Boilermakers. And
I think he should take some pressure off Moore too.
Yeah,
I think one of the better receivers in the country.
Yeah. So if we get a guy like Moore on one end, which by the way, this is if y'all don't know Moore, for a receiver for the Boilermakers, he had a sensational year last year. He could have very easily made a Heisman run as a receiver.
Yeah, if you picked any other school but Purdue, I'm pretty sure you would have.
Well, was it any other? But
or like any of them
that's
school.
Not. I guess any of them that doesn't have stacked wide receiver positions, then he probably could have. I agree with that. So he's a Rondale Moore. I'll throw his first name in there too for you. Rondale Moore for Purdue, a great guy. So it's a great addition to him. They also added a 4-star quarterback on their roster, Michael Alamo. We'll see if they get him into the starting position or not. If he can come in and compete either way within the next few years, I think he could be a great great piece, a great fit for them at the quarterback position. Overall, I think they straddle the fence of mediocrity, and I've got them going 6-6 and 4-5 in the conference.
I actually got them going 9-3.
Okay.
And 6-3 in the conference.
There's a shocker.
Because I think Malik Carr, he's gonna make a difference. He's gonna take some pressure off of Moore, Kendall Moore.
Yeah.
Just give them another option, pretty much. Get him open a little bit more and more. Get him more open.
Get more open, or get him more open.
get him more open.
Gotcha.
Or however you want to say it.
Sure.
But yeah. Is this going to take most of the pressure off of him?
Overall, I mean, I like Purdue, and there might be a few games, at least one or two, that I could see them flip flopping. So I could end up pushing them to 7-5 or even 8-4. So I could see 9-3. That's not too big of a shot for me. I'm still trying to get over what you said about Michigan, but we'll keep fighting about that to the day we die, I guess. Well, if we finish out the show though with Big Ten West champion last year, Wisconsin, how do you see? The Badgers.
I think they win it again, pretty much.
Yeah.
I got them going about seven wins deep and losing to Illinois, of course, like I said earlier, and then losing their last game to Iowa. But pretty good recruiting. Number 25 in the country, number 5 in the Big Ten. They got a offensive lineman coming in, of course, like they always do. Their best recruit is Jack Neeson. No surprise, like I said, at all.
No.
As of offensive tackle, because they pretty much live down there, or breed down there, or however you want to say it.
Yeah, it's like a farm, an offensive lineman farm in the Midwest. That's certainly it. I love Jack Deaston, by the way. I've seen a lot of highlights of him, so I really like what that guy's capable of. I think he's going to do great things for the Badgers. But overall, I think the Badgers are going to do great things this year as well. Coming off, of course, of a disappointing loss in the Rose Bowl, but that helped them recruit tremendously because they were able to have one of the best recruiting classes that they've ever had, and which is saying something because they're only at 25th nationally, which is, for some teams, the best you ever had is going to be in the top 10, top 15, and a fairly bigger school like Wisconsin, you'd think they could push for up near there, but 25 overall nationally, I think it's going to be a heck of a year. I think they've got a few starters, of course, coming back that they can finish out, and we'll see them do some great things. And by great things, I mean, by golly, I've got another shocker for you. This one's really going to shock some people because last video I said that Penn State was going to go 12-0. I looked at Wisconsin's schedule. I didn't want to do this. But I kept looking at their schedule.
It is one of the easier schedules on there.
Yeah, 12-0. I got them at 12-0. So again, we'll make another guarantee. February 26, 2020. Not only did I say Penn State's going 12-0, I'm saying Wisconsin is also going 12-0.
So you don't even have Ohio State in it.
I don't have Ohio State in it. I have Ohio State going 11-1, but not getting in it because Penn State's 12-0 and Penn State beat Ohio State. So. That's how I see it falling. And because of that, of course, I'll just go ahead and jump into it. I have the Pac-12 championship between two undefeated teams. One team for certain ends up in the playoffs. Could end up being two. You know, if it's a really close game, it probably will end up being both of them. One of the first years where you see two from the same conference. But in that Pac-12 championship game, I actually have Penn State beating Wisconsin and making their first appearance in the college football playoff.
Okay, I got Ohio State in this one. I have Ohio State and Wisconsin. I think Ohio State pretty much handles the business pretty much in that game and probably wins by 20 points.
That sounds very similar to...
Yeah, they take out their frustration after the loss to Michigan.
Oh, okay. I see you got it all worked out. You got it all planned out. Well, we'll see what happens. I think, man, if we do have two 12-0 teams from the Big Ten, that's obviously big news. But honestly, I'm confident. For Wisconsin, by the way, it comes down to Notre Dame. They have a game that's against Notre Dame right in the middle of their schedule there. They're actually at home, I believe, for that one. But if they, as long as they take care of business against Notre Dame, I think they can fare well the rest of the way.
And it's in Green Bay, so
yeah, so
it's a neutral site.
neutral site, but basically home field for Wisconsin, a
Yeah,
little bit closer
pretty
for them.
much.
Although Notre Dame's not far away, it's
Mhm.
just a little bit of a drive to head up to Green Bay. So that should really be a fun game that hopefully we'll be able to be covering later on. It's coming up faster than you really think.
Yep.
Yeah, because I was surprised looking back. I remember
We're
starting
only,
this
we're
show.
like a month away from the spring games.
Exactly.
A
So
little bit over a month.
So all this is coming. So yeah, we're calling it way too early predictions, but really we're just about right on time.
Mhm.
So we'll see how all that fares. So far, we've been through 3 conferences. I've only actually really guaranteed one in the playoffs, and that's Penn State.
Mhm.
So we'll see what I have coming up. If I have any teams from the SEC or ACC going, I'll let you know then when we continue those videos, which will be next week. Continue to follow us on Twitter at Fumble Fever and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Fumble Fever as well.
Punch the like button and comment what your favorite thing is about the show down below.
Okay, we look forward to hearing you guys. And another friendly reminder, I know I said it last video, I'm going to say every video, but you can win $50. It can be yours come early April. All you got to do is win the tournament challenge between us and the rest of our friends, so please make sure you sign up for that. Thank you guys.
Thank you.